Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
You're on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to this channel and give this video a like.
Also, check out our podcast below in the description. A lot of football talk.
More talk because players are starting to talk. Jimmy Garoppolo, Richard Sherman talked to the media for the 49ers on Tuesday. And Jimmy Garoppolo, John, for all the talk we have about Jimmy and how much other people believe in Jimmy, I think one thing's clear when you watched him talk today. He believes in himself more today than he did last year. He said three things. One, having a full year of experience underneath me can only help. And you think about it, of course, we've talked about it. Two, his knee this year compared to this time last year is night and day. It's not even comparable. And three, unfazed by the Tom Brady speculation.
Well, I'll start with three and work my way backwards. They had the opportunity, and it was widely reported that Tom Brady was interested in coming to the Niners. Why wouldn't he be? Team stacked. They just went to the Super Bowl. Tom thinks he could win a Super Bowl with his Bay Area team that he grew up rooting for, that made him a football fan, and his parents live in his backyard. It made all the sense in the world. It would have been the ultimate storybook ending, and the elite offensive coach. They said no. They said no. They chose to stick with Jimmy. Now, it's more complicated, and there's more context to it than just black and white decision. But at the end of the day, they made the decision to go with Jimmy Garoppolo and not go that deep into the Tom Brady stuff. I think, two, last year heading into camp, before he had some terrible practices, because he did. I don't think you and I were there at the practice where he threw 5, not interceptions in a practice, 5 straight interceptions that led to touchdowns, as in 5 straight pick sixes. Then he had a preseason game that I don't know how you could come away any other way by saying that was the ugliest thing I'd ever seen. It was bad. It was a weird time for Jimmy Garoppolo. And even this, remember, early in the season got weird, but the team was so good, and then he overcame
a weird
it.
pick in that Cincinnati game that was like, does he get it? Is he seeing ghosts? What's going on?
Yeah, and I do think that his knee had to be playing somewhat of a part. To me, he's now 2 years removed, even far longer than that. I guess when he hurt week 3 2 years ago, so almost 2 years removed from the ACL. They typically say that second season back is when you feel much more, at home in your own body. You got to feel good. And I think at the end of the day, number one is like his team believes in him. His teammates like him. Jimmy Garoppolo goes, I'm a starting quarterback in the NFL that just had a ton of success. I am a good player. So, yeah, I'm ready to roll.
Also, I have Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I think
I got the best tight end in the league. I got one of the best running games in the league. We just drafted the first-round wide receiver. I know Debo's injured, but I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, Guy. He tweeted they're doing picture days. Like, he looks sweet in his uni.
Debo does look sweet in his uni.
Yeah, he looks the part.
I think every question with Jimmy Garoppolo, or every debate about Jimmy Garoppolo, boils down to one central question, which is Jimmy Garoppolo the quarterback he was in 2019 every year, or is Jimmy Garoppolo better than he was in 2019? It's as simple as that, right? If he's better than he was in 2019, then the debates about how good he is or what tier he's on or is he Kirk Cousins, those things will fizzle out. If he is the same quarterback that he was in 2019 every year, his team gets a little worse around him over the years and injuries or whatever occur to his offensive line, then we're going to always have this debate about, is he better than Kirk Cousins? Can you really build around him? Are you always looking for somebody else? To me, it's that simple. And what he's saying to us is, I'm just coming off my first full year as a starter. That's valuable. And I'm healthier than I was coming into last year. That's valuable. In other words, I should hit the ground running. Now, there's all these other factors, but every team is dealing with all these other issues. So I think he's saying, I think I'm going to be a better player. Now, does that mean you go 13-3 again? That's a different animal, right? As we know, those are two different things. But to me, that is what everything boils down to. And this is why I still bet on him. And it's, I think, why you still bet on him, is there is so much still with him in terms of playing with a full deck that he hasn't had. Now, he has had a great coach. He's had a great organization. He's had a great defense. But he hasn't had a lot of experience. And he hasn't been that healthy relative to other entrenched starters.
I think you bring up the best point. If he stays the same, he will continue to be, and I think he'll pass Kirk Cousins because he's more interesting, the most polarizing player in the league. And I think he kind of trended that way at the end of the season. The one thing I was thinking when you were talking is, think of what as his first year as a starter. Now, he was lucky as a backup. He got to check a lot of boxes. Belichick, Josh, learn from Tom every day, practice under their regiment, watch Tom take notes. Like, in 3.5 years, he got to basically just sit in like Harvard Medical School every day if you're going to be a doc. Like he got the best of the best. And he got to play a little bit, which if Tom wouldn't have been suspended, Jimmy never would have started, right? His only playing time over that period of time would have been in the preseason games.
Right.
And remember, while he got hurt in that second game, I think against the Dolphins when he hurt his shoulder, he had like 3 touchdowns in the first half. It was clear he had won the Sunday night game against Arians that week 1. Like he got a lot accomplished in a game and a half, on top of already having highest pick Belichick's ever had at quarterback. Like he just kind of got to solidify himself. Now it was more about being an actual player. He got to play in a bunch of huge games on the road against the Ravens, the Saints, Seattle. Won 2 of them. Won a division because he played well and played a huge part down the end of the season. Multiple playoff games. Now, granted, they were all at home, but he got 2 playoff games he got to start, and he got to play in a Super Bowl. So I just think he got a lot of experience that, like, a lot of quarterbacks that become polarizing, like Dak or Cousins, takes them like 5 years to check off, and sometimes you become so polarizing, you end up going to another team or it doesn't work out because you never got to kind of like, well, I got to just bang this all out, like Roethlisberger. And you think of some of the great quarterbacks, Phillip Rivers early in his career goes to the playoffs. You just get to just check a box early. And he's like, I know I can do. I've seen it. It's never like, can Dak Prescott go to the playoffs every year? Well, he misses the playoffs every other year. Who knows? He's just like can Jimmy go to the Super Bowl? Well, yeah, he did it. Now, can he be like a top 5? There's still other boxes to check.
Can he take a team to the Super Bowl that's not as good around him, right? That's the next.
He already got – you agree, though, he got to check a lot of boxes off that no one could ever be like, is he good enough to win a playoff game? Yeah, we saw it.
Well, I think he did a lot of things that maybe on the outside we look at and go, oh, but his defense was really good, but Kyle's really good, but their run game. But if I'm him, in my mind, I was the quarterback of a team that just went to the Super Bowl, which most quarterbacks don't get to do, right? So, like, forget about what everyone else says. Like, he has every reason to be more confident on August 4th or August 5th, 2020 than he was on August 4th or August 5th, 2019. I mean, he said night and day. It probably – the more we talk about it, John, the more I think it probably can't be overstated how much more comfortable he is today than he was a year ago. Not just with the knee, but with the playing time, with everything.
You and I were at practices. And then it was pretty tangible when you watched the preseason games. It felt like he had, I don't want to say like the weight of the franchise on him, but he had just missed the season after signing a huge contract with an ACL. The Niners were tired of kind of being shitty under Kyle. There was just like some urgency in the building. Like they couldn't be bad again.
Yeah.
You just could kind of, there was some tension there. Remember, it was like Kyle on Jimmy, Kyle saying some things, how Jimmy needed to be better. It was just, I don't say it was weird, but it wasn't normal. It was somewhere in the middle of weird and nimble.
No, you would not say it was easy.
It was not easy. It was a tense environment. For a team like, I think a team like this year that will feel like will be the Jets and Sam Darnold. Like, it's just time to it's a little, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
yeah. You know what they say about pressure?
It burst pipes or it made diamonds, and it didn't quite get them a diamond ring, right? But it got them an NFC Championship ring.
Yeah, it could turn into a diamond over time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Successful first dig.
I think, and I'd imagine you agree, I would expect Jimmy to be pretty good this season.
Yeah,
even in weird Corona times.
This show's betting on him. I know that.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Let us know what you think down in the comments below.
Like the video.